Hi y'all, welcome to my shop. Bienvenido a mi taller to my Spanish speaking friends. I'm just sitting here drinking coffee, thinking about what I'm going to talk about in this episode 8 of A Moment of Peace. Seems like as I get older, I got a lot more things to be thankful for. As some of y'all may know, I've had a real bad case of sciatica in my pain in my leg from a pinched nerve in my back, and fortunately I was able to get a couple of cortisone shots. 3 weeks of physical therapy didn't have any effect, and I was able to get a couple of cortisone shots, and I got some severe relief, so I'm very thankful for that. In addition, recently I finished my cataract surgery, and I'm really thankful for being able to drive without glasses. I've been wearing glasses probably for close to 40 years. And when I walk in my shop now, it's almost as if I have a third row of fluorescent lights down the middle of my shop. I just have so much more light, and the colors are much more vivid and vibrant. So I'm still struggling with getting adjusted to various reading glasses. You know, you get them for $1, and you try out different pair and you scatter them around. So I'm still working through that issue. One of the things I found out that most of you guys, probably a lot of you already found out about it, is you can get safety glasses with bifocals with readers in them, real inexpensive. I got this nice pair. Let me set these glasses down. I got this nice pair off Amazon for about $5 with little readers in it. I have to lift my head. And I got the vision so I can turn it the lathe a little bit further away than reading distance. And you can get them, actually you can get them in your big box home development store, like the Big Orange, store with the big orange sign, for not much more than you can get them off Amazon. So that's a handy thing. As you regular viewers know, I'm passionate about wood turning, and I really enjoy sharing, and I appreciate all the comments I get from y'all, and the turning tips. I learn an awful lot from some of you viewers, and some of those I want to share back in this moment of peace. You know, this YouTube is a wonderful facility to be able to reach out to a lot more people than I'm able to deal with in a club demonstration, sitting in the audience, or a hands-on workshop that I facilitate once a month at my club. It's nice to be able to reach out and communicate with so many folks. And if you're not a subscriber, I hope you'll subscribe. I have a personal goal of trying to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Now let's turn to some of the comments from some of my viewers. Comment from Tom Albrecht in response to my box elder hollow form. He asked about using a screw chuck. Actually, I did all this I did this with a faceplate. The size of this, the depth of it, it's a little bit more than I would have cared to do with a chuck, because it's more than 5 inches deep, even though it's only about 9.5 inches long. Another viewer, Frank Ingram, asked when I was going to finish this piece and what I was going to do with it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. My wife doesn't care that much for wood turning pieces, so she hasn't claimed it. I'll probably donate it to charity. It's been drying now for 2 weeks, and it's dropped from 35 ounces when it came off the lathe now to about 20.3 ounces. I measured it, weigh it every couple of days, and when I get 3 days of no change, it'll be ready to finish, and I'm just about there. But it's the amazing thing, dropping from 35 to 20.3 ounces. That's over 40% of the original weight. So to me, that's just kind of incredible to lose that much weight. But back to the comment about a screw chuck versus a scroll chuck or a faceplate. It's something we could probably spend a lot more time on. But a screw chuck generally is limited to something no bigger than about 10 inches in diameter, about 4 inches deep. That's bigger than I'd probably care to put on a screw chuck in most instances. And part of it's when you get things that big, they tend to get tighter and tighter, and they're almost impossible to get off the chuck. I mean, you really got to muscle it. I find that the screw chuck for me works especially well for smaller bowls, say in this kind of size range for the initial chucking, especially ones out of material like Bradford pear that doesn't have any particularly strong grain pattern that I'm trying to feature in the bottom. So I don't have to worry about trying to balance it and adjust it and get the grain balanced. I just drill a hole on it on the drill press and slap it on a screw chuck, and it works real fast for smaller bowls like this. But larger pieces, I would rather use either a faceplate or a scroll chuck. Let me give you an example. Here's a piece I've turned fairly recently, and I used a scroll chuck for this piece. It's about 19 inches from corner to corner, and it is somewhat unbalanced. I balanced it between centers on the lathe, and until I got it balanced, and then put a tenon on it for hollowing out the bowl. And I used my Titan chuck with fairly large jaws, the power grip jaws, and I felt very confident with this size bowl. And part of it is because it's not a real deep bowl, and the manufacturer Nova says that the capability of that Titan chuck with those power grip jaws is a bowl up to about 16 inches wide and 6 inches deep. And this is not 6 inches deep. It's only a little over 3 inches. So this didn't have as much leverage as one that stuck out 6 inches. Before we leave the topic of chucks, let me just do a quick close-up. This is my 50 millimeter Jaws Supernova 2. Manufacturer recommends not to exceed 12 inches diameter and 4 inches thick on a bowl. This is my power grip jaws that I turned that great big natural edge winged bowl I showed you that was 19 inches from corner to corner and about maybe 3.5 inches thick. Here's a 6-inch ruler for reference, but you can tell this is a considerably larger, heavier set of jaws in a chuck than this. The manufacturer suggests up to 16 inches in diameter, no more than 6 inches thick with this set of jaws. And this is the most powerful set of jaws that Nova says Technitool says they make. I had a couple of comments about my medallion ornament video and jam chucks, and one comment I got was from Terry to Jaden. I hope I got your name right, Terry. And he says on a jam chuck he likes to put a hole a little bit about 13/16 of an inch and use a 3/4 inch dowel so he can pop it out from the rear once he takes it off the lathe if he has to, and he sands the front surface of the dowel. This is 5/8. He likes to go with 3/4. 3/4 probably less likely to damage the piece, but I didn't have a 3/4 inch dowel to illustrate. But that's an example. I also got a comment from Gerald Jensen, a suggestion, and it describes what he does on a jam chuck. He says when he has a jam chuck, he drills a hole that he can almost get his finger in along the side in addition to one in the back, and that way he's got an additional leverage to pop out from the jam chuck. I tried that, and you know that's something you might want to look at. That's probably all we got time for today, but I appreciate you watching, and if you like my videos, give them a thumbs up. Till next time.